There's just my little PC talk there.
Not to be confused with the RTX 5080 conversation we were having earlier.
How did we go?
Oh, shit.
Hold on. Our conversation is so funny.
I thought you were done talking about the 58. You stopped.
No, I was done. I thought it was funny. No, because Mikey was doing his story, and then you interjected with the joke with the what was it? The flip. Oh no. I'm trying to remember our conversation. Oh well, never mind.
I gotta say, our discussions are really good in this playthrough.
Oh yeah, no, Sonic.
We can only hope
the
that the footage won't be irredeemably bad when it comes out in the other end.
Speaking of which, have you had half an hour yet?
Yes. So
we're
we've
about
got to
like
do
an
another
hour
one.
17.
No, I'm saying like on the current recording session, you have to stop
right,
and
I'm
start
gonna
a new
stop
one.
now. Start again in 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Did you finish your bike story then?
Oh, I'll wait for Alonzo to finish first.
No, I was done with the 5080. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was just trying to remember how we got to where we were.
We need to start taking notes while we record.
I failed to consider how I would fit the fucking bike in the car. So I roll the thing out all the way to my car, and I'm like, okay, what I'll do is I'll try to shove it into the back seat area. So I open both the doors and try to shove it in, and it's like, fuck, the handlebar won't fit through, or fuck, the wheel is just big enough that it won't fit through. Then I'm like, wait a minute, what if I put the back seat down and shove it in through the trunk? Then there'll be plenty of room, right? So I do that. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, I have to figure out how to lower the fucking thing, because I've never had to do that before. So I just have like a sedan size vehicle. It's not, like a super huge thing or anything, which is part of why it was difficult to put the car or the bike in the car.
Mazda 3, isn't it?
It's a Subaru Legacy
No.
2016.
Okay.
So I try that, and then the fucking thing still won't fit in. I'm like, well, shit. If I had tools on me, I could... Well, then I consider, I have an Allen wrench in the front of the car. I can just remove the handlebar or, parts of the bike so I could fit it in. And then I try that.
That would have been You didn't actually do that, did you?
Oh, I mean, I tried to, because, fucking wrench...
Okay.
I put the wrench in the socket.
It's fine. I just feel like you'd have a difficult time putting it back together.
Well, it's actually not that bad. There are 4 hex bolts that secure the handlebar to the front of the wheel, and it's not really that hard to, because spoilers, I did end up having to do that later.
Just make sure you attach the brakes
But
again.
the problem is that the one wrench that I had was too small to turn the fucking thing. It was just barely too small. It was like the universe was playing a trick on me or something. So I'm like, shit. And then I'm like, okay, I bought this bike. I don't know how to ride it yet. And I can't just leave it in the parking lot. And I can't just leave the car here, because it's just far enough that it would be a pain to walk. How am I supposed to get this thing down here? I guess I can't.
Is there another one?
I'll try this one.
No.
Maybe I can use this one way down the thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to call someone and ask for help. So first one I call is my sibling, Dakota, my non-binary sibling, and I'm like, hey, Dakota, are you busy? And they're like, now and in the near future, and they're like, no. And I could tell by how groggy they sounded that they had just woken up, and it was 3 p.m. Because they had been up late the night before working on projects for college. I'm sure we can all relate, because we remember when we had to do that shit.
See.
And I'm like, okay, Dakota, I've bought this bike, and I can't fit the fucking thing in my car, because I just have a sedan. And they're like, what's a sedan? And I'm like, it's a Homer Simpson car. And they still didn't know what a sedan was.
They said, what's a sedan?
Yeah, they didn't know what that was.
As if that was the area of importance.
Yeah.
Well, it came up because I'm like, they have a bigger car than me. They have, it's not quite a minivan, but it has, a bigger trunk door, so they could fit the bike through it, is the point.
SUV?
Yeah.
Or a
and I was
mini
like, what kind of car is
mid-size
this?
SUV,
Because I
yeah.
remember it having a bigger trunk, and they're like, I don't know what kind of car it is. And I'm like, okay, well, mine is a sedan. Is yours also a sedan? And they're like, I don't know what that is. It's a Homer Simpson car. I haven't seen The Simpsons. So...
Your sibling hasn't seen The Simpsons?
Probably not.
If your life is as strange as it is, I can't imagine what your sibling and Eric's must be like.
But okay,
like they're uniquely
like,
strange
Dakota,
in their
I
own
really
ways.
could use your help. Can you please come over? And they're like, well, I stayed up all night working on school stuff, and I'm tired. I don't want to have to help you. Why can't you just ask Mom? And I'm just like, well, I called you first because you live closer to me. You know, like, you live 30 minutes away as opposed to 45, and I thought, you know, that would make more sense. And like, can you please try and call Mom? And I'm like, fine. So I hang up and I call my mom, and she's currently taking a nap. Because it's like 3 p.m. in the afternoon, like right before dinner, and that's when she likes to take her nap. Because she's old. And I'm like, okay, I can't do that. And then I like text...
she's old.
Then I text Dakota back, and I'm like, I looked up your model of car. The bike will fit in there. And they're like, have you talked to Mom yet? And I'm like, yes. She didn't answer, so she's probably asleep. So then what my sibling does is they call my dad, who is working, and say, like, can you help Michael with his bike problem? Or get Mom to do it? And then, like, shortly after, my dad calls me, and it's just like, Dakota said something about a bike? And I'm like, okay, I just bought this bike, and I can't fit it in my car, so I need someone's help to get it in. He's like, oh, okay. For some reason, your sibling thought that because you had produce, you couldn't fit bike in the car or something like that. I don't know. So then all of a sudden... so then all of a sudden, I get a call back from my sibling saying like, okay, fine, I'll fucking drive all the way to and help you with your fucking bike, you asshole. Like, they seemed really bothered to have to do anything for me in that scenario.
I mean, if I were them, I would be fucking annoyed too, because all I want to do is rest on... And, like, my dumbass brother bought a bike that he can't fit in his car, calls me and asks me to drive 45 minutes to go help them.
30 minutes.
I would be annoyed. No matter how much I loved you as a sibling, I would still be annoyed in that situation.
Here's the thing. And here's what makes it a pain in the ass. Is that my sibling is relatively irresponsible, because I'm not like a model citizen or anything when it comes to that, but there'll be times... There was one time where they basically did the exact same thing. They stayed up too late, and it's like, oh shit, I'm supposed to go over to Mom's house and take care of Gabe, Mom's cat. And then they basically called me up out of nowhere and woke me up and said like, hey, can you go take care of Gabe for me? I stayed up too late and I am too tired to drive. Can you please help me? And I said yes, unconditionally, because I love my sibling and I don't mind helping them out.
Okay.
If they ask for it. But it's like every time I ask my sibling to help me out with something, they always give a mealy-mouthed response and refuse to do anything. And that's part of why I was so annoyed, is it's like, basically I'm calling in a favor, or trying to, and they're like, but I don't want to.
That's how it be sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, that is how it be. That sucks. Sorry, post Mikey, I'm leaning forward right now, so...
Mikey added in a fart when he leans forward.
No, just trying to charge it. Tonight is Among Us night, so I have to make sure my devices are all trudged up. Yeah, you have a very different relationship with your sibling than I do.
Yeah. I don't know how much time you even... Because I know that you and the youngest sibling barely speak at all.
Yeah, I really don't know my younger sister at all.
Can I fucking attack this thing or what?
It's neat to think about, because like you and your brother were always really close.
Not always. We fought a few times.
As
But you have been a lot closer as siblings than most. Because like when I grew up, my neighbors growing up, there were two brothers, the older and the younger one, and then they had a younger sister also. But the brothers hated each other. They hated each other's guts. They would fight and beat each other up and throw shit at each other. Like, I would walk upstairs because they both shared the attic bedroom. There would be like a hole in the wall because they would throw something so heavy at the other one's face that it would break through the drywall. They would steal from each other. One time I walked upstairs and the younger one, T, I'll call him T, is like, oh my god. He's like, oh my god, I'm nervous. Can you take a look at this? I'm like, what happened?
What happened?
I look upstairs. There's a fan on his brother's bed and a glass of water spilled on it. He's like, oh, I hated Jay so much that I peed on his bed a little bit, but I peed too much. And I'm trying to, he's going to notice. So I'm trying to dry it off with this fan. And I put a glass of water here to make it look like a glass of water spilled so he won't know that I peed on his bed. Like, that's the level of hatred that these two boys had for each other.
That
reminds me
kind
of weird, but I think that's
actually,
less...
One time I actually did pour a glass of water on Eric's bed.
But he literally took a whiz on his bed because of like, malicious intent.
Still, Eric's like, my bed is all wet. And then they had to like remove the mattress and like try to get it dried up.
What were you saying, Alonzo? You think that's more what?
No, that's definitely they're both kind of pieces of shit to each other, but I think, at least in my opinion, a lot of that is on the parents for letting that continue. I think they're basically both spoiled enough to where that they're getting away doing shit like that, to where
they weren't very spoiled because they didn't have that much. But yeah,
that doesn't mean their parents spoiled as it doesn't mean monetary value. You can be spoiled as a not wealthy family.
Like,
emotionally being babied and stuff like that. Take the monetary value. We're not talking about capitalistic kind of spoiled. We're talking about being baby, being not held accountable for a lot of things. That they're still going at each other like that. That's definitely on the parents not taking control or at least parenting their kids. So I think a lot of that isn't on them being horrible. Siblings not like each other, but terrible. It's definitely more on the parents and a reflection of the parenting than the brothers themselves, because siblings can be made to hate each other, but can also be taught how to interact with each other and learn.
They didn't watch enough Bluey together growing up.
I wouldn't say not even just Bluey, just basic compassion and just sibling or family kind of aspects.
They love each other now, but they did not. They were a dysfunctional family for sure.
Yeah, so when they both move out away from the parents, probably, they learn to work with each other and everything, but...
My god, are these guys gonna stop respawning? Oh, great,
yeah, but
I'm
piss
dead.
on a bed? Holy shit. But that's just crazy.
They would steal each other's money.
Oh my god,
am
I back here again? Are you kidding me? None of that was deserving of a fucking checkpoint.
Deserving of a checkpoint.
I got like 3 of the statues there.
Oh, I just died on the final boss, and this is where I have to start back at?
Mikey deserved the checkpoint.
I was going to say something else earlier, and I forgot.
Ooh.
Before we but like to see how you and your siblings are so much closer, because also I wasn't close with my older sister at all because she was 7 years older than I was.
Mm-hmm.
So she was much more of a bully to me.
Right.
She would bully me by the time I was like developing a personality of my own when I was 8, 9, 10, you know. That's when our parents divorced. And she would have a new boyfriend like every week. She had a lot of boyfriends.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Casey or Aaron?
Casey.
Okay.
No, Aaron is my mom.
Yeah, I thought you meant your mom because you just mentioned divorce.
No. Oh, no. My parents divorced. Casey had a lot of boyfriends.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, sometimes she'd just, like, tease me in front of her boyfriends. Like, one time I would always watch TV on my little 13-inch CRT in the kitchen. I'd I would flip between Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, sitting on a hard chair, and that was my TV time. Every night. But she'd like come home. She came home one time, and she said, "Ethan, get over here." And she like gave me a wedgie and hung me up off the ground because she was big enough to lift me. And she lifted my feet off the ground by my underwear, and my underwear ripped in front of her boyfriend, who was laughing at me, and I was the most embarrassed I'd ever felt in my life.
Jesus Christ! I never did anything that bad to my little siblings.
That's the kind of relationship I had with my. Oh! This is on my onion ring list. Have you ever seen the scar that's on the back of my head anytime I got a shorter haircut?
I don't remember this, but I'm sure if you show me a picture, I'll be like, oh, yeah.
I have a scar on the back of my head that's about an inch long.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I get a haircut, it's very obvious that there's a bald spot on the back of my head.
I also have a scar on the back of my head.
A lot of people do, but how I got mine is different from the way in which you got yours. I guarantee it.
All right, let's hear it.
So Casey, I was 5 and Casey was, 12. I was walking. She hated it when I would walk into her room or be in her room for anything. Even though
you tried to touch her Genesis and she went ballistic.
No, that's not it. That didn't happen either. I don't know what you're talking. She didn't like it when I touched anything of hers because apparently I'd ruined some things of hers growing up. Like, I think she had a picture of like this ballerina or dancer, and I drew a big mustache on it when I was young. Apparently that's how the story goes, even though I have no recollection of it. But I broke enough of her shit being a baby that she, by the time I was 5 and probably wouldn't do anything like that, she still didn't want me in there. So one time her and my mom were hanging out in their room together, and I was like, they were like in and out, they were walking in and walking out. So I'm like walking up to Mom, who's in Casey's room, and Casey is standing in the hallway. I walk past Casey to walk into the room, and she grabs my arm to keep me out, and she pulls me back. Like, instead of like holding me and like, don't go in there, she like grabs my arm and yanks me back to go flying. And I land and my head smacks the door frame of the bathroom. And I immediately just start gushing blood.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had to go to the hospital, get sedated, and get 7 stitches in the back of my head. Because I was walking in the direction of my sister's room. I wasn't in there yet.
Did she ever apologize for that at the time?
Oh, she was mortified that she had done that. Everybody was just like, could not believe that happened. Like, she did not want it to happen. She was very, 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 very remorseful and said sorry a million times because she did ultimately love me. And we joke about it now, like, siblings getting in trouble. It's still not as bad as some of the shit my dad did.